We almost killed some kids because they almost killed us, and we made a witch friend.
Nah, them kids was bitches.
And we are headed back to town with some fresh potions from our new barista.
Named
What?
Lavender.
Whatever her name is, I don't remember her name.
The last note I have is we learn that her name is Lavender and that her main focus is of the natural healing aspect.
Yes, but one step back. Like, why are you even here? It's been a while.
Oh, because we were supposed to hunt that bitch
People
down and
were
kill her.
people were saying there's a witch in the woods and you got a gentrifier.
Yes. So
I didn't even
part of
fight
this
that one.
part of this kingdom called Misthaven, as it was so named, right? And you're in this grand land, medieval, War of the Roses ish.
We're in
You know,
Misthaven? I thought we were in Thornwood,
well, I mean,
where
in
we're
the
from.
greater sense, that's your kingdom. So there was this huge war. It was basically like a medieval world war, and it tore just everything apart. Um, and in the repercussions from that, all the major players of this land got together and agreed to have a council, a ruling body of a council, to try and maintain this really fragile peace that's been going on. One of the counselors for Misthaven you work under, and you're kind of a secret, I don't want to say secret police, but his task force in the shadows to make things kind of go his way. You assume everyone has this kind of thing. You'd be a fool not to, even though it's kind of illegal.
A fool.
So you were
Do
sent out
do we know
west.
how it's illegal?
Well, there's just rules. Counselors can't do this. Counselors can't do that. You can't pressure somebody. You can't bribe people. A bunch of rules that are
They can make
ideally followed.
suggestions.
Can we get away? Can we get away with murdering children in the woods? Because that one might
We'll
come
see.
up.
If
We'll
you murder
see.
children in the woods, does anyone hear it?
They do hear it if you end up saving the witch and the kids come back almost killed.
He had a job for you, sending you west. One of the votes, one of the many votes for the council that he cares about for whatever reasons, your man, your boss, Victor has, is there's a supposed witch in the woods, and he wanted you to go find out what's going on for real. You did meet Lavender, as she called herself, though it seemed she came up with it on the fly. Um, she was the nearby town is recuperating from its war losses over the last 10 years or so, and is starting to prosper again. Um, None having forgotten the trials of the war, but this witch has thrown a wrench into things, and everyone's upset. And people are saying, oh, I have bad luck because there's a witch in the woods, and my crops are failing because there's a witch in the woods. You get the idea.
Yeah, witches
Going
be
there,
bitches.
going there, you found some young men from the town who had deemed themselves, heroes who were going to take care of this problem, and you stopped them, not allowing them to burn her little shack down. Meeting her, named herself Lavender, and you guys were questioning her, and she seemed to have, pretty. She has a strong personality and doesn't falter at all with your questions. She says, if what I do is witchcraft, then so be it. Um, After a while of discussions, you did get a little more info after having investigated her domicile and questioning her story, and she does dabble in the darker arts a bit, that being divination. And she handed Patches a card that showed him around a bunch of emaciated children, and he was quite shocked at this, and that's where we left
Da-da-da-da.
it. Divination is frowned upon, not outright banned and hated like necromancy by any means, but
Especially when
divination
it's
is
over
still.
TikTok.
It's what now?
So I'll tell you later.
Okay. Yeah. So divination, not ideal. Probably not illegal in some places. Nothing you'd necessarily burn a witch at the stake for, but it's necromancy's distant cousin.
So
Much like
basically,
biology, the lesbian sister of math.
Yes, exactly.
basically, Chance told me that he now gets on TikTok and looks at people's tarot cards they draw,
Oh no.
and that's like he takes that to heart, like a fortune cookie.
Oh no.
And he was all excited. He was like, "Oh, it said I would get a surprise visit or a surprise message from someone." And he's like, "Oh," and then someone messaged me and got me a job. I was like, "Oh, that's good, man." But yeah.
Like this tarot says sometimes I can be social, but sometimes I just want to be by myself. It's so right.
It so got me.
Like all of it's like that.
You know, sometimes those card readings tell the weather. It might rain or it might not. And it's
So
correct.
true.
Wow, fuck, man, they really
Fifty-fifty.
hit the nail on the head.
Good odds. So we don't have Patches here, so he's too shocked to speak, and she kind of
Yeah, he's
as you pressed
fainted.
as you pressed her a little bit, she revealed, with a confident, no fear attitude, that she a one who divines. She has a dire omen for you all. Something about starving children.
I'm currently just trying to nurse myself back to health in the corner over there.
Yeah, from getting that steel chair to the face.
Oh yeah, them kids did not like me.
Well, Lavender, as per our agreement, or proposition rather, we want you to come back to Misthaven with us so that we can give you a better proposition with our officiates. As I said, I will respect my fellow comrades' decisions on giving you the opportunity to prove that you are not evil.
Damn right you will.
But the moment that I find out, you're gonna crumple like a house of cards playing fetch. By my hand and by the mother's.
She looks at you with her eyeshadow and fishnets, and she's hot.
Hot.
Um, she says, "Hmm. So you don't find me uncouth enough to kill just yet. I have one more test for you then, holy man. Would you like to see how the future is revealed to me?"
Do we know how the future is revealed to her?
That's what she asked. Would you like
Well,
to
she
see?
looks you in the eyes and does the fork snake tongue thing.
Yeah. Be like, no, but I'm sure it's some weird magic thing that I don't understand.
For the benefit of the doubts, I will use this as evidence in any trial and decision. Show me how you partake of these devious methods.
Come with me then. She walks further into her quaint cottage. A live plant, mushroom, sage, lavender, um, a hatch on the ground, simple planks. There's a big circular point to grasp. She grabs it, pulls it up, revealing a small staircase going down. She goes,
She goes,
down,
um,
downstairs.
I'm gonna follow her.
I'll follow right behind John.
I'll be in the back.
Her basement is strange. Unnerving. She seems to have a mix of animal lover's friend with cute rabbits taken care of in large cages, their every need met, ravens in cages hung above, cats in these kind of like wooden pins that allow them to see out, but are kind of kept into their own little space so they can't get out. Um, it's just a menagerie of animals in one part, and on the second, she has this butcher's idea of a dream, this long wooden table, and there's this pile of offal and organs and blood. The bones are mostly ignored, left in a pile to the side. Some of the organs are hung from the ceiling, and they hang down like butcher's sausages. You can see small intestines of small animals and this small red kidney, heart, eyes, all kind of arrayed in this strange setup.
Do butchering on the side.
It says anthropomancy.
Are you sure it's not sacrificial means for your devious needs?
Oh damn! So this is where that goat went.
So I'll like you'll kind of see my character kind of do a double take, and he's like, "These were dead before."
They are dead after. I
They're
butcher
definitely
these
dead
animals.
now.
I raise and care and love these animals, then butcher them, and the future is revealed to me through their organs. Am I uncouth to you now?
It depends. Do you clean the intestines, or is there always a bullet left in the chamber? You know what I mean, bitch?
I have no idea what you mean. Did you just have a stroke? I have a herb for that.
I mean, okay, so my character will kind of like think, like ponder a bit, and it's like, so basically, what you're saying is that you don't kill these animals; you already find them dead.
No, I raise and butcher them.
So,
How do you know when it's the
okay.
appropriate time to pick that apple?
The voices of the future whisper to me.
Bitch is crazy.
At least it's animals, not human beings.
Yeah, would you ever do this to a person?
No, humans are tainted, evil things.
Must be odd looking in a mirror then.
I wouldn't say that you're quite evil because you haven't done this to a human being per se. As long as you're not going out just killing livestock, it seems like like you said, you raise these animals on your own and then butcher them by your own means, which makes you no different than any other farmer or livestock owner.
I believe
Yes,
a
but
few farmers and livestock owners around would disagree with you. But if I am not so horrible, then let us go hand in hand.
Well, I did tell you that you could go ahead, that I was using anything as evidence against you, so you took the statement and you brought us down here to show us everything completely unhinged and unbothered. So
well,
please
I'm definitely
continue.
bothered.
James is hot and bothered.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So, please continue.
I revealed my hand to you all. If you still want me, then I'm yours.
Is this why the people were mad at you?
There is some truth to their sayings. A missing goat here and there. But I never harmed any of them directly.
The fuck is directly supposed to mean? If you kill that thing, that's pretty direct.
I think she's meaning the families.
Yeah, I didn't murder a human, but I did murder their, maybe their livestock a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
She says that while lighting the bowl and inhaling.
Yeah. I killed that fucking goat.
Well, what do you guys say?
I do think at some point you should probably make amends for what you've done, because taking the livelihood of farmers is quite uncouth. But
Depends on who struck first. Did they antagonize her or did she start it? That's what it all comes down to.
She raises her hands. It's a matter of perception, I suppose.
I would agree.
Gotta get philosophical on us.
mm,
Mm,
Alright, well, you showed us your means. You upheld your end, so. And good faith, we will uphold ours. May not be the
I,
best means of travel, but we do have to head our way on back to Misthaven to present to you. We will make a proper stand against the immediate eradication of you. Try our best to state to the council that maybe your needs are more beneficial than the absence of your life.
Speaking of absence of life, how are we going to explain this to the town to keep that trail from leading back to our country?
Well, we didn't tell the kids where. Well, we actually didn't really kill any kids either, so, you know.
Yeah, but
Fair
if
enough.
they're a particular pair of protective family, they're going to believe the kids say over someone else, and I would rather not a trail of red tape lead back to our benefactor.
yeah,
Yes, well,
I think we've kind of made our choice, and we need to get out of here before we start making tracks.
we did say that we were going to take care of her and kill her. Um, what if, Lavender, is there any way that you can disappear for a day or two, and then so that way the townsfolk themselves feel as if nothing went awry and they've been having their uh, prayers answered,
Prison answer.
rather. Yeah. And
disappear. Well, I'm not. Despite my domicile, I'm not exactly the tough outdoorsy type.
was there any way that you can hide without being seen?
She looks around. Could stay in my basement, I suppose, but I don't know if that's a good, reliable
Come
necessarily.
on, you're super magical. Can't you like snort a goat lung and turn invisible?
That's not what I do.
What if what if we bring her to the cave, to that tomb, and you know, give her the provision she needs to be comfortable within there, so that way the townspeople can come see this cabin and see that she is no more. And then afterwards, we can meet back at the tomb on our time of departure and head back to Misthaven.
How do you feel about that, Lavender?
I don't know what tomb you speak of, but as long as it's safe and I won't be harassed, that seems fine.
Well, to our knowledge, there seems to be no more undead servants
No
arising.
more?
Yes.
There are definitely less.
Well, We were under the assumption that this actual cloak that I have clasped onto me uh, was deigned by some phantom, and upon its eradication, there didn't seem to be any more resurrections going on.
He says, "Give me a diplomacy check."
A diplomacy.
You're not lying about anything necessarily. You are
Oh my
trying.
gosh.
That's
We
a
actually got a skill name right.
15.
She says, "That's a little scary, but I guess I could take a look. If I see anything moving, I'm right out of there, though."
Would you feel better if you had an escort?
Oh yes, I assumed you'd all be escorting me.
Before we go, we need to sling some blood and make a mess of this place to make it look like we did our job.
It's plenty
Well,
of animal parts, it seems.
Yeah, that I have full supply of.
Oh, I'm sure, bitch. All right.
I just assume your character says that under his breath. No shit, bitch.
Jams, Mr. Anarion, you're creating a crime scene. That's an interesting one. It almost feels like a performance check.
Usually I do these naturally, and,
Yeah.
you know.
What about society?
Society check?
Because there's create forgery, subsist, recall knowledge.
I don't know. It's basically lying. So it'd be closer to deception, really, but it's such a physical, like, you have to set shit up thing. That's why I was leaning towards performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me performance. Yeah, whatever. Well, it doesn't have to be so specific.
Perform your performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I get to hang jump back here. Yeah, I don't have dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you're a soldier. You know what a battle would look like if someone
Yeah.
was killed. You know, it's not a over the top wash of blood, but at the same time, there are certain expected splatters here and there. You're well aware of. You do a pretty good job.
I'm really trying to fool the CSI crime scene.
Yeah, it
people.
looks quite convincing. Nobody's going to test the DNA necessarily, so you know.
What time of day is it?
I think it's like 3 p.m. ish.
All right. So I would say after we do that, we wait a little bit. That way it gives her time to gather what supply she needs. That way, when we get to the tomb, it wouldn't be as noticeable with her being next to us while traveling and all her supplies that she would need to bring with her.
I look back at the crime scene and I take my sunglasses off and I go, it looks like she didn't see this one coming. Yeah!
God damn. Shit.
I hate that I just missed that one. That was really good.
You spend time creating your fake crime scene. She packs a bag, just clothes and trinkets and things that are important to her, namely 3 ravens. Has 3 huge cages. She kind of holds, wrapped in one arm, barely holding on. Just kind of her,
whole bird cages.
yes, and she has this small pack of necessities in the other arm, just barely making it. She's ready.
I'll say, will your birds not just follow you willingly?
Across a great distance, they can't be trusted.
That's fair enough.
They'll get lost or distracted.
My board. Okay.
All right. So we are heading out.
So what's the movement plan? You gonna go through town? You gonna avoid town?
I would say it'd be best if we avoid town.
Definitely on the avoid town bus.
Somebody, give me a D20 roll. What?
It's an 18.
Yeah.
You
not
don't
me.
see anyone. You don't see anyone as the sun dips below the forest and the golden leaves of the changing season are revealed to you in these sunlight rays coming down through the forest. You're an odd party sticking out for sure. Luckily, no one stops and accosts you, either from the town that you met before or a traveler in the woods. Getting to the tomb, you find it much the way you left it, which is open and with some blood and body parts strewn around the entrance.
Mm.
Well, Lavender, do you feel safe enough to stay here by yourself, or would you like someone to stay with you?
I'll step forward and say I'll stay with her. Y'all go back to town.
All right.
How kind.
Anarian, let's make our way.
Yep, that's fine. I was getting tired of seeing goat entrails anyway.
Anarion and Celios, you get back to town just as the light is starting to grow dark, starting to get into evening. Town is quite busy. This is one of the busier times during the day as people are finishing any of their revelry or their tasks or just the last bit of socializing they can do before the night grows dark. As you enter town, you hear, "Hey, it's them!"
Oh my.
Quite a few people run up to you. Namely those young men who you fought in the woods. One of them, looking very injured, a rough patch on his eye, and a sort of dazed, concussion-y movement, where he's not quite standing on his own.
I stay very still, but I am readying myself.
Um,
Yes, youngling, what is it that you need?
they've got a bit of a crowd with them, more so each moment that this drama is happening, kind of in the center of town, small town. As soon as you walk in, you were accosted. They accusingly point to you. It's like, it's them. They stopped us from seizing the witch. They're in league with her.
And what evidence do you have that we're in league with her? Because we
Just standing
stopped
right
you
back, goes,
from meeting your own death?
They look a little confused. They said, "Our own death. We were going to kill her. You don't know what you're talking about."
Is that so? You accuse me, a follower devoutly of the mother, of lying? Do you see how many of our ranks is here with us in our group? Do we look a little short on members to you?
They seem to notice for the first time. They said, "Yeah. What happened to the other two guys?"
They are no longer with us.
A sort of hush falls on
gotta
the
love the spin.
crowd.
Love the
You
spin.
mean what I think you mean?
Does it look like it?
It means whatever you want it to mean,
We
little
made it
man.
out of that cabin. Mess. Viscera everywhere. By my mother's graces, I was able to heal me and my companion here. But fortunately, the rest aren't with us.
Well, give me a performance or diplomacy. You're not really lying. You're creatively dodging the
You're
lie.
right. I'm not lying, bitch.
It's not in the 70s.
Bitch ass kids, 22.
Lavender skin.
The tone has shifted quite quickly. Whereas before, the kids had kind of got a fervor in the small crowd of like, they did this, and we were all there and we saw it. Now that the story has shifted from, they're in league with the witch to these travelers saved a bunch of stupid kids and lost
Yeah.
some of their own. The hush of the audience as they waited, this drama turns into this low, raucous talking of like the witch did that. I knew she was dangerous, but she's dead, right? And a few of the townspeople said, "You took care of her. You killed her."
The mother has her own ways, and we have done what is needed. You all know that the following of the mother do not deal with witches. Hurt. Gather some of your finest men. We will go to the cabin. We will show you the mess that has been left. Me and my companion here were the only ones to actually make it out, whereas she left with our companions. We could not stop her.
As you're shouting this down in the town and the darkness is starting to slowly fall, people grab torches and lanterns and they're like, "Oh, let's go see the witch. She's gone. It can't be real. I knew she was dangerous. I knew it." And it's like my cousin, he fell and drowned in the local river. I knew he knew how to swim like an expert. I knew he was cursed by the witch. There's all these stories of people just talking excitedly.
Drowned in the wither. Must be the witch. Fuck.
Garrett,
They're almost
you
like
taking some of this bullshit from your upbringing in St. Joseph.
Oh no, just about, yeah. I mean,
Taking it from Salem history.
This definitely sounds like some small town rumors.
Yeah, in a fever pitch, they all start just heading towards the rumored witch's cabin.
So much
Almost
confirmation
sprinting.
bias.
Coltrane,
Yes.
you're all alone with hot goth Jeff.
St. Patrick's there. He's whittling on
sure.
some toys.
He can T-pose.
He's whittling on some toys. He's planking right now.
Does your friend normally do that?
Give me. Give me a nature check.
Uh, 16.
Pretty good. Goth GF, Lavender. She out of one of her packs pulls out a small sliver of mushroom that looks to be pockmarked, as though it had some kind of boil or something at some point. This strange little holes in the mushroom cap, and she takes her long thumbnail and rips off a piece of it and flicks it on the ground near you.
Hot.
Seem to be doing
Says-
some planting.
Just be still.
I will.
A little rat slips out of a shadow and watches you for a long moment. Finally grabs the mushroom piece, rushes to the shadow's back. You hear a slight nibbling. After a moment, Lavender gets up, goes to the shadow, delicately plucks a large fat rat by its tail, quite dead, foam forming in its mouth.
Mm.
Some very perceptive eyes you have there. Did not expect that any less from a soothsayer, someone who sees into the future.
I had to become something of a hunter when I first learned of my talents. Most animals want to live. I have to make sure that doesn't happen sometimes.
Jesus.
Sometimes we are the prey, and sometimes we are the hunter. So, I mean, it makes sense. I've had to take a few lives that I didn't want to in my past. It happens.
flicks out a small knife, slices the rat from head to tail, and
Fucking
begins,
delicious.
seemingly to you, reaching her hand into the entrails and playing in the goop.
No.
I just mind my own business.
Rat goop.
No changes, no actions you want. You just watching her.
Yeah, just it's kind of just resting from being, just kind of really meditating over today. Like he's thinking back, like what could I have done better in the situation before? It should not have escalated to the point it did, but then it's like not in a complete internal conflict, but he's basically in his mind like, I
Fucking
knew that
kids.
they were heated. However, he was the one who struck first. I was in at that point. I had reins loosened, and he is particularly very proud of himself because he did not let his anger come forth and completely demolish that kid to the point to where he would be in a wheelchair.
Or a coffin.
Coltrane's
'Cause
also very, very ecstatic that he didn't use his catchphrase and say "woo woo" like he should have and usually does.
So that's kind of the situation. So he's going over like this inner monologue and basically going through everything that happened earlier, while just kind of like assessing the situation of what she's doing. He has no problem with it because, I mean, I'm sure the group was very surprised when he blew fire from his mouth. So he's not the one to just instantly jump to conclusions on someone. So he's just assessing mostly.
As you and Jack sit in quiet reflection, only broken up by the sounds of the wet kind of squelching coming from the lavender. You,
Bitch trying to
well,
get some over there making that good pussy noise. I'm sorry, I couldn't help.
Like a fist in a mayonnaise jar.
Ah!
Rare form tonight, boys.
Ah! This is about rat guts.
she lays out an esophagus, small intestines, and a spleen, all together in a line. And with the blood, she makes these strange symbols around it. But it's all small. It's just a rat. The small intestines is kind of surprisingly long once you stretch it out. Just almost a foot, in length, though very tiny. But the spleen and the esophagus are just as small as you expect. Basically, just little, almost jelly beans. Seems to be in a trance for a little while. She looks to you and she says, "I see gold, endless gold. It's covered in blood, human blood."
Interesting. What do you suppose that means?
Well, I'll have to reflect on it for a while. I'm not sure. As you guys get to the cabin, the excitement and fervor stops at the tree line. The the cabin, now that darkness has taken hold, is a lot more sinister at night. The dancing shadows of the torchlight and lanterns create a very ominous, almost storybook witch's cabin, with the flowers growing on the sides now dark, and it almost seems like growing vine and choking plant life is taking over this small cabin. It seems very ominous and dark, and everyone kind of stops. Kind of like, are you sure she's dead?
Just to make sure, I'm gonna cast detect magic. Just to make sure that she didn't really as we were leaving, setting anything up.
I don't know. That detect magic stuff sounds like some witchy shit.
Not by the mother, it is not. I've been
It's
granted these
okay
by
when
the
I
mother.
do it. Yeah.
It's okay when I do it.
I believe you guys did this when you first arrived, and you get the same sort of vibe. It's a very light, earthy, almost druidic aura of long magic use here.
All right, so I will
Nothing new.
making my way towards the cabin. I'll just tell the crowd. We are very sure that she is no more. The mother is telling me that there's nothing here, there's nothing present, nothing harmful. But I will lead the way for you to show you that this is in fact the exact thing as I am stating. And I'll just walk up to the cabin.
Several of the men in town, in a sort of masculine way, tell their wives and children to wait. Some do, some don't. Some just can't hold back. And you have a small train of people following you. As you get to the cabin door, you enter, I assume.
Yes.
Entering, people are very tentatively entering along with you, being careful, checking corners as though something is just about to jump out at them. You can see some surprise on their faces. Once you get inside, it's quite quaint. It's just a small cabin. There's a tea set, a lot of plants, some journals. Nothing, no horrible pentagrams or hanging corpses like they expected. They look around and see this crime scene there and the splash of blood, and they say, "Where's the body?"
I told you. In our attempt to actually defeat her, she could not accept defeat and she took herself. And in doing so, took our friends with her.
Where?
That's them all over the walls.
Not even a hair or cloth left of them?
She was very powerful.
God. By the mother.
By the mother's grace and the empowerment she gives me with this shield and this tome,
Fuck.
I was able to protect me and my companion. But only us.
See a lot of furrowed brows. That's crazy. But,
That's like crazy, right?
whoa, what, did she set off a nuke in the house? Like, what happened? But a man of the town has went downstairs to her basement and found the grisly scene you all found as well. You hear a, hey, come down here! And quite a few people rush to go down there. Not quite room for everyone to get down. Several people peek their heads down below to look, see what he had seen. And a lot of them get their final confirmation that the witch was indeed all the devil they wanted her to be.
Yeah. Super freaky.
Yeah. Let's see. One of the townspeople says, "Let's burn this place down. It's an unholy sight." And a few other people are like, "Yeah."
Yeah!
I guess we should probably let him do it.
Do you have any? You gonna stop them?
No.
Try to.
I'm not going to stop a mob.
Nah.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of us telling her to gather what she felt was essential. Because I actually anticipated them going crazy and doing this shit.
Yeah, does she have any, like, animals around?
No, she either released or took all the shit.
Okay. Okay, well, that's all I'm worried about. Yeah, burn it.
Hold on.
The mood.
Hold on. I want to take one last look around and see if there's anything that catches my eye. And I want to bring it back with me to... And if someone asks, I'm going to tell them that it is a trophy offering to the Church of the Mother to prove of one less witch in existence.
Catches your eye. What would catch Celios's eye?
I don't know. I mean, do you want me to roll a number and you pick
Some
something
type
from
of
that?
trinket.
Yes.
What kind of number? A 6? A 12?
D100, please.
All right. A D100.
She's got an amethyst butt plug.
Hell yeah, that's a 48.
48.
Of course it's an amethyst plug. She's a witch. She's into crystals.
You find something that's pretty strange. Maybe not strange exactly, but peculiar. A glass orb that seems to have been painstakingly small, about hand-sized, almost like a ship in a bottle. It seems to be painstakingly a clockwork goldfish has been created inside. Just an odd, little unexplainable trinket.
That swim in midair.
No, it seems to be trapped in the stuff that people use resin.
Resin. Yeah.
All right, I'll grab that. And they can go ahead and start torching the place.
The mood lifts considerably once the fire catches. The grim scene had left a dire, sort of horrible taste in everyone's mouth. But once it catches in the cleansing flame of the mother, everyone, the mood turns to jubilation, and indeed the party goes on long into the night.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. In Coltrane, in your tomb refuge, hardly anyone knows it even exists, so you're pretty much unmolested.
All right.
Just kind of reflect and sleep when you can.
Yep.
Any other
Yep.
pressing business?
No.
So morning arrives. You guys have shifted from very sus to town heroes and are treated as such. Um, People are clamoring over themselves to give you drink and food and tell you stories and talk your ear off at breakfast in the morning in the tavern. You have a whole crowd kind of watching you, giving you a wide berth. It's like, whoa, these guys, they're crazy. They're so cool.
They beat them kids up good.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta take care of the young ones.
See that little Billy? He beat that lesson into you good.
What do you do now?
I guess. I'll take anything they want to offer for our travels as we set out for our next search for another witch.
Let's see. What do they give you? Oh, let the gods decide. They have. I mean, this isn't a rich town. It's just a small little farming community, building itself back after a long war. They don't have any like jewels or precious minerals or anything to give, something like that. But a few people hand you coin that they have squared away as thanks for your time. Um, uh, a few people give you like heirloom rings, a necklace from this one lady that says, "This has been in my family forever. Now that I'm safe, I want you to have it." And you get about 35 gold worth of gold, trinkets, collectibles, treasures, everything people are just handing you.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Not much, but it's what they can do.
That's your mother thanks you for your patronage and service to help in any endeavor she has to rid the existence of any witches that may trespass on this realm. With that, we will head off, not necessarily in the direction of the tomb, but kind of offset.
Mhm.
I was,
Probably wise because you have a little retinue behind you of
yeah,
about
I was
8
going to say,
kids or so.
I was going to keep an eye to make sure that we weren't being followed when doing so.
You are being gaggle of kids. Some of the young boys seem to be. They hold sticks and they pretend to march like soldiers, and some of the girls are just kind of watching in awe and getting distracted here and there, but still keeping up. These kind of gaggle of children are following the most interesting thing that's happened in a long time.
Anarian, do you want to try to say something to get them back to their home? We don't need tag-alongs on our
I don't
duties.
know. Would they be discouraged by like the? Oh, hang on.
What are we hanging on for? What you got?
Holding.
Sorry, my sister wanted to tell me that there's a bunch of pies in the kitchen. Um,
Oh,
A
bitch.
bunch of pies?
That
yeah,
How many
that
pies is a bunch of pies?
she
a
made a bunch
baker's
of
dozen.
mini pies. She's
Oh,
trying
okay,
to
okay.
figure out if she can make mini pies for the wedding.
A
Oh, hell
gag.
yeah.
Is it a gaggle of pies?
I have no idea what
Murder
it
pie.
is. She's like, I've got a bunch of filling that I don't have crust for. And I looked at her, I was like, I don't think I can fucking just eat a bunch of filling. Good God.
You
Can't
Yeah,
get
that's one
both.
don't
step from
lie to
cracking open
yourself.
the
You
can
definitely
to
can.
eating at the computer.
Christ. Do you think that the insignia that I said was on my sword, because I'm from the other country, would like discourage them?
I don't think a bunch of 8-year-olds would know what it is necessarily, but if you did a performance of like, I'm going to destroy you or something,
I
possible.
Are you sure
don't
you want
know.
to
I
take
don't know
that
how to
approach?
scare these kids off.
I got it. I'll stop and I'll turn around towards them and I'll take my shield and kind of hold it up in front of me.
Oogly boogly, bitch.
And I'll kneel down and I'll say,
Grounded.
Children, I want you to heed this warning very, very carefully. It's best for you to go back to your home. Once one witch is taken down, who knows how word is spread over to their fellow kind? We may be attacked at any time, and you being in the general area puts us at a disadvantage because then we have to worry about you and cannot focus on taking her out. However, if you wish to follow in the same footsteps we did and how we walk, you have to put your faith in the mother. Dedicate yourself to her. Spend every ounce of energy you have to learn the ways. Train yourself. Remember, the spirit will be willing, but along the journey, the body will be bruised and spongy.
Fucking knew it.
That that sounds like a performance. I think everything you do sounds like a performance to me. Maybe Celios, a performance or religion check, one of the two. It's
All right.
convincing.
Religion for 19 total.
Yeah, I mean, you're in this cart that was given to you by Victor. It's a slow-moving horse. It's not a war horse or anything. Open back cart. And all the kids are following close behind you, and they're like, "Woo, yay, wee!" And you kind of get to see kid noises. And yeah, you do a real good job. I mean, you've really Sunday school these kids, and then you're like, "Shoo, go forth! Go. You can be like us if you go study and eat your vegetables, whatever." And they all kind of meander off, head back to the town. They couldn't have gone too far anyway. They would have gotten in trouble. But you send them off with a message and a good warning. Now you are free to go pick up your hot goth geo.
Wow.
Do we have like a tarp or something?
I don't think so.
For what?
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Okay, I didn't want to come out. No, basically, just in case to hide her while we're still in the vicinity of everything.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna be like fucking Frodo with those Lothlorien cloaks and have it make look like a fucking rock.
Yeah, true. All right, well, we'll give us some time. Like, I guess we'll just wait a little bit. Act like the horse is catching its breath, and then we'll head out to the tomb.
Is that my message?
Funny thing.
And
You put.
while doing so, kind of look around, make sure no one else is here.
Give me a perception.
I don't know what I would use in.
How do you perceive with
Yeah,
intimidation?
again with this. That will never leave me.
I'm perceiving with survival.
Yeah,
18.
survival to notice tracking, that kind of thing. 18.
Yeah, I rolled a base 18. Or no, there's a perception, so I got a +4, so 22.
You are quite sure you're not being followed.
Alright. Alright, Anarian, let's go ahead and gather our associates and make our way back to Misthaven as fast as we possibly can, since this horse is almost dead. Maybe a quick trip to the glue factory, I guess.
Oh.
He's regal. He's seasoned.
Yeah.
And we're off.
You pick up the gang. You find Coltrane, Lavender, and Jack all together. No one's organs ripped out yet. And
With the
everyone
rat.
is reunited again.
At the rat fleshlight.
There is a dead rat on the ground in a weird, like, ritual circle with its organs and blood. If that is any concern to you at all.
She taught me how to read futures. You all doomed.
Yeah.
No, as I see them walking up, Coltrane will kind of get up and he will do his bow to them, and in his gruff voice,
I'm sure you spun them quite the tale, didn't you?
Well, I didn't necessarily lie since it goes against my oath, but I didn't stray from the truth either.
Definitely one for the ages.
They are under the impression that our Lavender here is no more. So is the existence of you and Jack. Unfortunately, however, Lavender, your cabin is no more. So I do hope you got everything out of it.
What? What happened to my cabin?
You know how people can be angry and mob-like.
Well, no sense looking back. That's not the
You
kind
know
of
how
thing
people can be angry, right?
I never look back, only look forward.
That's the way I live. And I'll start like jauntily walking towards the cart.
Let's make our way back. We want to get there as soon as possible.
You all head back the same way you came. Indeed, you pass the scarred lands, starting to come back to life. You pass through, getting. You see the great city, your sister city, the Tharnwood, in the distance. Not close to it, but you can see its mass, its bulk, far off in the distance as you hit a right to go back east, towards your domicile. You pass over the great battlefield that was once one of the very last pitched battles fought, where those goblins had accosted you. Their bodies are now kind of squishy in the mud.
Filthy wretches.
A couple of birds are picking at them. Mostly uneventful journey. Returning, we turn in the mission. Bearing the witch gives you +1 culture, -1 stability.
Mm.
The secret third option of getting her on your side will give you a bonus +1 loyalty. For a total of 13 culture, 10 economy, 13 loyalty, 9 stability.
My God. We gotta make us some money.
What was that total?
9 stability, 13 loyalty, 10 economy, 13 culture.
And
Victor is quite pleased with your assessment as you give him the rundown, as you're forced to do so. There's no journey in the quest. He says, yes, I can see how someone practicing divination could be very valuable. I'll draw up quarters for you and make sure no one accosts you. I would only ask you don't go speaking very loudly about your hobbies. And she nods, and obviously.
You said that was also 13 loyalty?
13 loyalty, yes.
Okay.
Got a bonus +1. Now, a very important part of Pathfinder, where we have to put our heads together and think. Because we're in a downtime phase.
By the way, everyone gets 7 gold after
Mhm.
selling all that stuff.
With downtime, you get to utilize the gains, the benefits of your culture, economy, loyalty, and stability to improve your kingdom. Or you can use it to improve yourself or make money. Really, your imagination is the only limiter. Some of the fun downtown activities for individuals they suggest is blackmailing someone, crafting something. Laboring earns a small amount of gold, while skilled labor earns a large amount of gold but takes a skill check. You can spend your time to enforce culture, economy, order, loyalty, or stability, which will give a chance to help out that that section not go down necessarily, or possibly even go up. You can promote a business. You can invest. You can retrain a feat or a skill. And as far as the kingdom, well, that's where this culture, economy, loyalty, and stability comes in. So if you want to better your kingdom, you would use that as your check. So, you want to start a museum to bring gold in. Sounds like a culture check to get that started. Roll a d20 plus your culture bonus. Pass. That's what you do. So right now you're all kind of flat. You get a +1 culture and +1 loyalty, right? That's not very high, and you're kind of broke. You don't have a lot of influence. This is just to get your feet wet and to start thinking of what you want to accomplish. So downtime, just think about what you want to do, what your character might want to do, have goals, where you want to try to steer the kingdom. Right now, really up in the air. But as things happen, you might get some really specific downtime activities. Like if you're in a war, or you want to prepare for one, or you want to prevent one, that kind of thing.
Sorry, I've been muted. Uh, yeah, I was gonna say we do need to work on stability.
I was going to say that. What can we do to increase stability without impacting any of the other three?
It's called enforce, and it would enforce stability. Let me. You would. Let me find the goddamn fucking thing. I gotta find out what the roll for it. Basically, you spend your downtime trying to make sure that it either goes up or doesn't go down, but there's a chance, if you really fuck up your roll,
Something else gets lowered.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can lower if you really mess it up. Um,
I was
ability,
thinking a bad roll would be like you spent too much time on this and now something else has to diminish.
possible. It's possible. Let me find out on that page. Enforce, use your influence to enforce. Yes. For right now, since you're just peons with no real power, it'll just be a flat stability roll, which is a -1. So it's kind of, it's hard to restabilize. You're just people going out in the streets and shouting. But once you gain power and influence, you get different things. Like you can send soldiers out. You can start. There's like a system to start a public holiday. There's a bunch of stuff. Right now,
Public holiday.
it'd be a stability roll.
Who wants to roll it?
Whoever's spending their downtime on it. If everyone does, you'll each get to roll, but you won't be able. You get one downtime activity.
We get one downtime activity that we can either utilize to increase something within the kingdom or personal.
Yes, exactly.
What can we increase personally?
Sky's the limit. I mean, really, it's just how you want to shape your character and what they care about.
Uh, yeah, try and start figuring out a way to learn.
Learn magic. That's interesting. You
Well,
want to be able to cast a spell or multi-class or improve your arcane skill.
I think the ultimate goal is just to be able to cast spells for now.
Would be a spell blade.
Yeah, it probably will end up somewhere along the lines of a spell blade. But it's sort of a general thing right now. Unless you would rather specific, then it's like he could be just earth magic like I was talking about earlier.
What's your intelligence?
Let's see. It's +0.
Oh,
Not a negative, but it's +0.
is that 10 then or 11?
It is 11.
You're gonna have to read some books for a while.
Okay.
Then magic will come later.
All right. I start reading. I'm working on myself here.
Nice. Coltrane, what about you?
Coltrane, basically what he would want to do in his downtime is that since he's always been part of a community in the monastery, he's going to try to impart that onto the city himself. So he for one, he's trying to put feelers out, I guess, would be to find people interested in learning in his art. And then once he gets a couple of people that he thinks would follow, he would also offer his services of training more hand-to-hand combat to like maybe soldiers or people who are interested. I think that'd be how he would spend his downtime.
Wow.
So,
Cool.
culture?
Probably. That's what I would guess it would be.
Well, that's an individual goal, not necessarily.
Okay.
Well, at least for now, maybe if you keep working at it, you can say that like you're gonna train soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
For now, I think that falls under promote a business. would be your kind of like dojo, right?
Yeah.
So give me a Ka check.
Chick.
Some of that good old charisma.
That's gonna be a 15.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is just getting started. You're making flyers. You're talking to people. You're finding warriors and fighters and adventurers. And do you have a name
Wax on,
for your like
wax off.
school of punching people?
Name it wax on, wax off.
As far as like the fighting style,
Yeah.
mm,
Or like a
I don't know.
dojo name or.
Not as far as a dojo name. Mostly since he does a lot of Dragon-esque type fighting, that's kind of his fighting style. So,
Heated scales.
hand of the hidden dragon or
Way
something along
dragon.
those lines.
Breath of fire.
Iron high.
So you're trying to establish like a school or like a. That's what I heard when you were.
Yeah,
what I
not
read
necessarily. Like, could be mostly a school, but yeah, he's just basically trying to not necessarily pull people to be a monk like himself, but kind of just help where he can and have possibly like a community of people within the city that citizens could call upon if they needed help with something.
Thing. You successfully start getting the word out. This is your first downtime. You have some time off before the next council session, so you spend your time going to people and speaking to them. The martial people you can tell at a glance: adventurers, fighters, soldiers. Some people are interested, some aren't. But you begin getting feelers for people being interested, and you're setting the stage for sure. Successfully did that. When the father still established. Jams.
Yo.
For yours, never just given anything. I don't know if you guys hear my cat. He's going crazy.
Yeah, he's a little cat.
I was like, oh my goodness.
When I'm in meetings and stuff, he thinks I'm talking to him, so he meows back, and it's just this constant. Every day.
Every day.
Gems, it's tough switching from tough guy to learned wizard.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening?
I am. We're
on
at a point
downtime
where
now.
we're in like a downtime thing, and we
Downtime.
can try and choose to improve ourselves. And I want this character to eventually be a spellcaster of some degree. And he's stupid, and so I'm having to read books.
Yeah, he's not stupid. He's just a meathead.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay.
He has a low, well, not low, but not high int score.
Essentially, we got back to the capital, and upon returning, we actually got some increasements to our stats. So right now, our social status is 9 stability, 10 economy, 13 culture, and 13 loyalty. So if we want to use those stats to enhance what we possibly can right now within the city, we would use those bonuses. So stability, we would get a -1 to our roll. Economy would be 0, and then culture and loyalty would get a +1.
Okay.
It's like, well, let's resolve James, and I'll get into it.
Yeah.
James, you at the library. It's not something you're particularly skilled at necessarily. The long books make you sleepy and want to take a nap, but you push forward with a goal in mind. You reach the end of a lot of the arcane tomes, skimming through some of them, some being completely irrelevant to you. You realize that a lot of what you need is out of your reach. As you go to the ancient old man that is tending the library and ask about books on spellcasting and how to, increase your ability to remember spells, that kind of thing. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, young man. Wizards only."
I'll say I am a wizard's bodyguard. I've been sent to pick up some tomes.
You're sticking with that? Deception.
I'll
Yeah,
deceive.
you're sticking with that? Jesus.
Christ.
I mean, it's just like
Dirty 21.
Yeah, good as any. I was waiting for you to chop his head off or something.
Just slay him.
He goes, oh, sure. Oh, that makes sense. What are the names of the tomes?
Uh, he is trying to teach a beginner sorcerer. So he said, "Grab me anything for that." Uh, he's not very helpful.
He lets out this
One of them is
big
called
sigh.
One of them is called Spirit Fingers.
Jazz hands for beginners.
We prefer to call that ghost hands.
It's a whole different type of sorcery.
I suppose your ward is a new student at the academy then.
Yes.
uh, yeah, sure. Here,
You suppose right.
take these then. Um, if they're wrong, then I'll need a list. None of this nonsense.
That works. Thank you.
Jameson, you spend your time reading.
My God.
+1 intelligence
Wow.
with your downtime.
You said
I like
plus
it.
1 intelligence?
+1 intelligence.
Good
Well,
God,
that puts me at 12, so I mean, at least I have a +1 now.
It's gonna be a
Phew.
process, but if you stick to it,
That's
I
still
believe
pretty
you.
nice, honestly. The fact that
Y'all, I'm just gonna spend the whole rest of this campaign maxing out my stats and not helping y'all at all.
Yeah, downtime is very valuable. Don't. We'll get more into the swing of it as time goes by, especially once we have like real goals. But this is just to get your feet wet. So Patches, they made friends with the hot goth GF witch.
yeah.
Um, she revealed herself as a divination witch, right? Divination being like the cousin of necromancy. It's not illegal, and they won't kill you for it, but it's very frowned upon. And she said, "Oh, well, I'm a divination witch. Is that bad?" And the party said, "No, it's fine. We'll deal with it." And then she said, "Well, I'm an anthropomancyist, whatever that word would be. Anthropomanthist. She divines through the use of entrails." The
Oh.
party said, "Well, that's gross, but still cool. Come with us."
We've seen worse.
So the gang adopted the hot goth chef and brought her to the city. Victor was pleased and said, a divination person would be very useful to anyone, really. And he said he'll get her quarters and everything's good. So you guys got the, of your quest, you got to spare her. So +1 culture, -1 stability. And you got a bonus to loyalty for getting secret option C of capturing her into your party.
Okay. Cool.
As you got back, we enter a very important phase of Kingmaker, downtime. Downtime is when you improve your character, or more likely as we continue your kingdom. So this is where you spend gold, make things, prove yourself. You do things for the kingdom, like improve a stat, or improve diplomacy to another kingdom, or send out spies, spend money, build defenses. Sky's the limit. Your imagination is the only limiter. That being said, you guys are still like peasants, right? Just babies. So
Yeah, we're not
can't
super all powerful yet.
you can go outside and say, "I declare war," but no one's really gonna listen.
You're gonna be like,
Uh,
"Wow, that's a terrible idea."
so
By the way, you get 7 gold.
Oh, okay. Since we're in downtime,
yes,
can I is it possible that I can make toys for like are there any children that are homeless?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is just a decade or so out of a major war, so the homeless population is still strong.
Okay. I will go to if you don't mind, I don't know if anybody else is about to do something.
Not really.
Okay.
No, just
Um
shout that.
I will go buy 1 gold worth of food.
Hmm.
Like, like not like expensive bullshit food, but like a,
Sure.
a large quantity of reasonably useful food for that, like you can pass
So
out.
many Lunchables.
Pretty much, yeah. I want to go buy some Lunchables. And I'd also like to use my crafting skill to make some toys for the homeless kids that are in the city.
Okay. Using your own money and doing such a selfless act, give me shit. What is crafting in Pathfinder?
There actually is an action for it.
Yeah. Give me a craft check, please.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh my god,
Well,
that's nice.
welcome to the game.
Yeah,
He
first
has
first roll of the night.
crafted the fuck out of those toys.
Living up to your reputation, you spend your time giving poor kids toys and food. Just not a lot, just grain, rice, that sort of thing. But anything is better than nothing. Quite a few of the poor houses, you become sort of a famous legend, uh, walking in at random and passing out toys to the children. Um, with such a success and using your own money, I think the kingdom has gotten slightly more stable.
Okay.
A +1 to stability,
Oh shit!
Twice?
leading it to 10.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
So there's still a 0 for stability checks,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nothing's pressing on you yet.
Would it be possible for me to kind of put a bug in like the children's ear, like the homeless kids, that if they hear anything about, like um any
Misdeeds.
any kind of misdeeds, that they could come and talk to me about it, and I'm always willing to listen, and just kind of sharing that with them, that if they tell me that certain things happen, especially if there's any underhanded things that are happening to them, that they're able to come and talk to me about it.
Sure.
Also, any whereabouts of the Batman. He's like the penguin with birds, but except it's children.
What?
Excellent.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense. You build their trust, you get them to recognize you as a friend, then you kidnap them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Seeing it all come together.
Then you just snatch them children up.
Yeah, these kids are just out of a very war-torn era. It's like 100 Years War sort of thing.
Yeah.
We've gone from 100 Years War to War of the Roses, where it's become very political and all that, but still the ramifications of such a brutal, long-lasting war. A lot of orphans, a lot of sad, one-legged kids on crutches.
Tiny
Oh
Tim.
my.
Picturesque, but you bring a lot of joy to the children.
All right.
A lot less likely to go start burning down establishments when they hit their teenage years, increasing stability a bit.
Okay.
Uh,
Good to know that that's actually making a difference in the city.
you can influence the city in many, many ways, including positively or negatively.
You've made too many toys. The economy's crashing.
The economy's crashing because you've made too many toys.
The economy.
Helios, any thoughts?
I want to spend this time observing Lavender, seeing if she has done anything that would warrant her execution.
Are you doing this secretly, or just kind of like a guard at a jail?
All this work to save
Kind
her.
of just popping in every now and then, trying to surprise her to see if I can catch her doing anything.
I mean, she's still weird as fuck.
Yeah, that's not really a downtime exactly. You can just kind of do that. This is another character you can interact with, kind of thing.
I know
But
that's what I want to see, if there's any type of thing that's solidifying my judgment of her.
little column A, little column B. Again, her ravens are well taken care of. They're fat and happy and smart. They know a few words. She's adopted a couple of kittens that are running around her small domicile in Victor's estate. She has a bunch of plants growing. It's just really picturesque. But at the same time, she, occasionally a rat or a dog will go missing, and you see she has taken over a wall on the side of the building she's in, and started to have these crazy kind of, like the red line going from conspiracy theorist board kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. And she has these like this word, and it's just like gold, and it's circled a bunch of times.
Oh wow.
And then there's blood, and it's underlined, and there's like a question mark. And then on the left side, she has like starvation, and then it's like a immediate panic, and there's this picture of like this emaciated man, and his ribs are all like crossed and cut in this like wild striking of like a paint. She's a good artist, but the everything is just, it's crazy. It's madness when you look at it. So it's this is like hot and cold of like this hot goth GF. She's got these kittens, cool, and then she's got this like fucking crazy other thing going on. But
Right.
so it's a judgment call.
So, what I'm wanting to do is, from observing her, start kind of utilizing what was mentioned in our conversation about everything for my character, and on the days of not seeing her do anything completely off the fucking wall, and those days I'll go find a shrine and do my best to um, talk it out and observe my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then the days that I see her just being completely fucking sporadic, that will, more so solidify yeah, it is questionable.
Elvis.
So maybe it wasn't. Maybe there is something to her that would justify her end, and be swapped between that. So use my time to kind of observe her, question her, and then reflect as well.
Spending so much effort, I think, will improve your connection to your religion, but the cost of this is definitely an internal battle within yourself. Feel conflicted in many ways. So +1 to your religion ability heal,
Let's see if I
and
can modify that.
a deep foreboding sense of dread at the path you've taken.
Can I modify that?
You gotta be a way, right? I'm a pen and paper boomer. There's a temp section, it can just be forever temporary.
I don't know. Let me.
What is it, a +2?
Religion.
So
I think
basically,
you can just go and change your skill. Just change it as if you've always had it.
okay. Let me see here.
Like where you set your abilities, I think you click the other button.
It's telling me I have a +5 in it already, but my stats are saying +4. The fuck? Oh.
Really?
What? It's not making any sense.
So Coltrane has gotten the word out on his fighting style, collecting the best and the brightest and the strongest, getting the word going. Anarion, head buried in a book, trying to change that brawn into brain. Jack, friend to the children, been spending a lot of time making toys, just making their lives a little better. Celios, you, man conflicted, spending time in prayer and in watchful gaze at this witch you've taken under your wing. time goes by, as it always does. Finally, you're called in again by Victor. Another council meeting in session. He's got a couple of things for you here. There's this, if anybody's on roll 20, you can see them, but otherwise I can read them.
Oh yeah, I didn't know we were using it.
He has 3 matters for you today. 3 concerns he has. He points to one of them in particular. Says, "This is very important to me. I don't want to force your hand in anything. That's not the point of our arrangement. But this tainted bread poisoning people, I feel it's a great risk to our stability. But that being said, the diplomatic mission to the north, you can obviously see how important that could be. And the ancient map, it's a bit of fairy tale. But if there were any truth to it, there was riches to be had. That could be a game changer. And you guys want to read through them and discuss amongst yourselves. And the V is Victor's seal, and that one is kind of like plot mission that you will have to get done eventually.
I mean, I like the ancient map one, but it's everybody's say so.
I'm kind of I'm kind of interested in the tainted bread one.
I kind of like all of them, but yeah, I'll do the tainted bread.
Let me see.
I don't want to lead your hand, but this one I have a feeling about. But
What does that mean? Could you elaborate on this feeling that you have?
well, with my ear to the ground, I've been hearing this come up more and more and more. More so than just hearsay from peasants. This seems to be a growing problem. Something that has legs. That being said, I have hired you because I value your input and your intelligence. The mission to the north, if everything were to go we'd have a powerful ally. And if you know something I don't know about the golden map, then please let me know.
Wait, so he's saying that he thinks we should do the golden map?
He's saying he thinks you should do the tainted bread, but he
Oh.
doesn't want to hold your hands.
Yeah, so the tainted bread is the story quest,
Yeah,
which progresses the plot, and the other 2 are kind of side quests.
Basically.
Of the 2 side quests, I would honestly do the marriage one.
Is it going to affect? Is it going to affect the city if we don't do the tainted bread first? Is my main curiosity, because allowing your peasantry to be fed, poisoned food could lead to all kinds of instability.
Yeah, loses
I mean,
faith
that's
in your
the
leadership.
call. And the plot mission. It's not like Skyrim. You have to go find the dragon shout before you can move forward with the game. It's the plot is Victor thinks it's important. That's the plot. Whether you think Victor's thoughts are important, totally up to you. You know what I mean?
I was kind of interested
I do
in
feel like the story one is the most pressing.
I think it's also the most important out of all of them. I think that's kind of the.
Well,
That's kind of what Victor
I
was
think
leaning
Patrick's
to.
character would kind of feel for the poor and want to do that one.
Yep, that's definitely what my character would want to do.
In a sense, mine would too, because it's supposed to be for the greater good.
There's no Yeah, I just want to reiterate. There's no like this isn't the story quest. Like you have the main quest section in your nav and then side quest on the bottom. It's all main. But Victor is leaning towards tainted bread. That's his opinion. But you three have, I mean, you four have your own, totally what you think is important. Like if you wanted to pursue this map and like get a, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you want to think about the future, right? If you became map seekers, that would be a whole different direction for the kingdom. Or, maybe you hate this barbarian guy
Mm.
and you go to fucking war with them or something,
Looking at
His
it,
name Yes.
So just saying it's not main quest and side quest. It's all just, it's all paths. But that being said, seems like leaning towards the tainted bread.
Yeah, I am leaning
I think it
towards
is
Tainted
the
Bread.
most important than treasure hunting and
well,
diplomatic wedding.
looking at
Hmm.
the actual treasure hunting, because it's dealing with the land that I'm from, that probably has a stronger hold. But I am conflicted between that and the well-being of protecting citizens.
Yeah.
And Coltrane's his whole thought process is he would find it interesting to travel just to see the other kingdoms. However, I think he would lean more towards the tainted bread scenario as well, just because it's someone harming innocent people,
Uh,
and that's nothing for him. He's like, no.
for me, I'll do this. Tainted bread, I'll roll a D100. If it's 50 or lower, it's the bread, because both are very strong in my will for everything. And if it's 51 or higher, then it's the map for me.
Okay.
78.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you still
However,
have voted, but it's good to,
yeah,
get
I
your
mean,
opinion out there.
I see both are equally as important to me. One is
Mm-hmm.
more
Bread.
the protecting citizens. The other one is religious.
Mm-hmm.
However, with us choosing this, Garrett,
Yeah.
is there anything stopping us from looking for said map after we finish Tainted Bread?
You don't know. That's the thing.
Do
We
we
can't predict the
know?
future.
Do we know where the directions of everything is, other than the diplomatic shows it's something from the north dealing with the south as well?
Yeah, you'll get the deets,
Okay,
The dirty deeds.
done dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that we can accomplish these other things too after we finish?
There's a chance, but ideally it's a living world and stuff won't wait on you.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just curious if that was something that was possible.
It's possible.
Depends
Okay.
on how quickly we do it, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like weeks, then the wedding is probably done, and
Yeah, quickly or
someone has
cleanly,
found the map, etc.
Well, yeah. I mean, I figured that was the case. So
Well, you gotta do this to us, Garrett. We want to do all your quests.
there will be more quests. I say Tainted Bread. That's definitely my go-to. Even if he didn't say that, I would still say Tainted Bread.
Mhm.
I feel like it has the most
Yeah, tainted bread.
significant impact on all of what's going on.
It just makes me think of Warcraft 3.
It makes me think. Well, that and that fucking song, "Tainted Love."
Tainted bread.
I am so glad that I am not the only person that harkens back to Warcraft as well. Because I'm like, oh shit, we're about to have to fight fucking zombies.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was like the one Warcraft thing I ever did. It was
the
like
tainted
the
grain,
peasants are eating
purging
the
the
grain
city,
silos.
purging the city.
They're turning into zombies.
Yeah,
Oh
If
man.
we meet a paladin in said city, I'm gonna be very very unnerved. They're
his
gonna want
name
to get
is
the hell out
Schmuther.
of there.
Schmuther Schmitebringer.
Who?
You don't know, Garrett. You don't know.
No.
You don't know. I'm making a reference to Uther Lightbringer.
Oh, of course. Why don't you play RuneScape like a real gamer?
I did play
I
RuneScape.
was gonna say James was a huge RuneScape player.
If you 99 all the skills.
Laura said I'm a whore.
I tried playing RuneScape one time, and I made it about 5 minutes in before I wanted to gouge my own eyes out.
Yep.
So you leave, you recoup, you spend some time mostly on yourselves so far, but this is just to get the ball rolling as it goes. Patches I was talking about, downtime later will be more about like, oh, we're at war. We got to start thinking about this. We got to start spending our coffers. We got to start utilizing our stability. But right now we're just kind of reading books and thinking about the future because you're just babies getting started, just out of the nest.
Did we level up?
Not yet.
Figured I'd get that out of the way for you, Patrick.
Oh, I wasn't gonna ask.
So you've had a lot of downtime. You talk to Victor. The council's coming to session. He has 3 pressing concerns that he wants investigated. You side with Victor on this one. It's thinking the one at home is more important than kind of going out on these crazy adventures just yet. As you leave, getting all the details, you've heard that some of this tainted grain has been peddled by this nearby this river named Iris within the city. So you're heading that way. You see within your beautiful city all that you would expect. Shaking off the shackles of this costly war, life is starting to breathe its way back into Misthaven. The old castles and ancient walls hold their storied history within the stone itself. The city is looking quite metropolitan these days. With the council convening here, there are many foreigners with their families temporarily moving to Misthaven. You recognize the darker skin and flowing, colorful attire of those from the Sun and Star Empire. A few Eladorians, their imposing armor and weapons, along with their loud, passionate language, making them stick out. Everyone seems to be happy with the beautiful weather. The bite of cold autumn still a few weeks away. Reverse for a while, your city holding a few surprises for you at this point. Reaching the small river Iris, you're near the bad end of the river, the poorer district, unlucky enough to catch more of the city refuse as it slinks down the water. Their portion of the river being small and kind of off-smelling and not very useful for trade. But still, there's traders and people hawking their wares. Life all around the city. Roll me. What would it be? Let me get my character back up here. And roll. Hold. Close my tab.
And
So I guess society. Yeah, society check.
that's a total of 24 for me.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let John roll these.
I rolled a natural 19 plus 5, so.
You know, if you let me do it, it's gonna be like your kingdom is in shambles. There's lava. You jumped into the lava, etc.
Celios, keep an eye on these things. You see that people are looking a bit rough, thin, and haggard. During the war, food scarcity was low, and everyone suffered. But this place looks like it never quite got the recovery that was happening. People are not quite lame or downtrodden. You see shops open and children playing, but there does seem to be a sickness here, coughing, retching. Men are winded and holding their chest. People are taking long breaks on the stone walls and benches. Everything just kind of knocked down a notch. Health is here.
Uh, I'll look at the rest of the party and. Well, it seems that this place has been hidden with some kind of illness.
At that point, is anybody like struggling with some of their work nearby?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's a couple of more
How
handy people, carpenters, that kind of thing, and they seem to be just going a little bit slower. It's nothing dramatic. People aren't falling down in the streets and everything, but you see people are taking just longer breaths and they look a little thin.
if I see someone like struggling with like trying to push up, like you say the carpenters are working on a house, I would say
Yeah, something like that.
I would help them
I
kind
scream, don't do it.
of
Drive that first nail and you'll never drive your last.
like.
Can I go up to one of them and use medicine to try to determine what they're at, or like how their health is health wise? Is that something I can do?
Yeah, and Voltran, you're just gonna help, just assist them.
Well, I
Yeah,
just kind of
I was gonna help him try to push it up, and then kind of like start some small talk. Like when did you start noticing you were lacking strength, or
Hmm.
is this happening to other people? And just kind of information gathering.
Give me a strength check.
Does
Give
this
me a
grain
medicine
come
check.
from Lordaeron?
That's going to be 17.
Mm-hmm. Pretty solid. Uh,
can I have an idea, and this may be absolutely just non-acceptable, but so there's an idea that this could possibly be a poison that's involved in things.
that might be.
Um, so is it possible that I could use my knowledge of the occult to see if any of if these people have symptoms that are similar to anything that could be seen in occult ritual poisonings or killings or anything along those lines?
Did you want to use medicine or occult?
Oh, I'd like to use medicine to try to like kind of check these people out, but I didn't know if I could also like roll an occultism thing to see if if they do have symptoms, if those symptoms are associated with anything that I might know through the occult.
That'll be a tough roll. You can definitely do both,
Okay.
but
Is
it'll
your
be tough.
character supposed to have been some sort of medic?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which one?
I have like treat poison, treat disease, treat wounds, all that shit.
Well, do you want to like flavor him to where he was also in the war and he was a medic?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
I just didn't know if you
I just rolled a
that was an
19 in
option.
medicine.
Um, so Coltrane and Jack both using different methods. Coltrane, you help. This big beam. He's trying to put it up in like an eye joint or whatever the hell. James, don't correct me.
Don't even try, Garrett.
Yeah.
He had some wood and he did some things.
Yeah, big thing. He's lifting it above his head, and he's like, it's a little shaky. He's getting it, but he's like, ugh, he's trying, and you go up there and you help him push it into place, and it locks into the elbow that he's trying to get into. Oh, thank you, stranger. Appreciate that.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
No problem, sir. Has this been a thing here as of late? Have you always had this kind of trouble when building?
No, I've been under the weather a little bit, I suppose.
Seems is there something going around?
This is the point. This is the point where my coworkers would say something about, yeah, his labia is probably fucking aggravated.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
You got soft hands, brother.
It's all like that.
Uh, I'm just trying to understand the situation. As I'm a traveler, I would say, and I've come through town and I seem to have been hearing a lot of coughing. Is there a sickness that's going around?
Yeah, I suppose it might be that time of year, but uh, you know how
Just the middle of summer.
you know how this district is. We always get the worst of the times, no matter what's happening.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah, it does. It does. I guess it started 3 weeks ago. I guess I think I've got this cold that won't leave me, but I do appreciate your help.
No problem. Glad I could help.
Patches, what was your medicine again?
19.
That's pretty solid. You see, pretty predictable It's pretty easy to assess. The people are just emaciated and they're weak. See, um,
Tapeworms.
no one's starving to death necessarily, but you see that shaky hand of like when the people are very hungry, and some of the thinner people that were probably already thin, their cheekbones are a little too high, and looks like they're losing a little bit of fat that they couldn't afford to lose.
Seems
Okay.
everyone here is on the capsule diet.
The Kessel diet.
Let me go to the one man and say um uh I'm working for well shit, I don't know how to say that. Um I will
Health
say
department.
it seems as though many of you are suffering the same illness here. Do any of you know what it might be? Oh, sorry.
He looks around. He's got kind of a crew, and they're all trying to put this hovel of a house together. And they say, "Well, no, I'm not sure. I think just a summer cold. We've all got it." So.
Uh do we know what
Exactly like work. People
yeah.
coming in sick. Don't give a fuck.
Do we know what these people eat?
Oh.
It's strange. They eat and shit spaghetti.
Oh, only the finest spaghetti.
Wonder what that's about. Almost like it's all tapeworms. You know how they say oops all berries? Well, it's oops all tapeworms.
You don't, Patches. Do you want to ask him?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is you know, it seems as though there may be something that's spreading around. Uh, what could you tell me about, the kinds of things that you and the other people around here eat?
Uh, he says, "Well, I don't think it has anything to do with our diet. We've actually been on the up lately. We've had some sellers bringing some very affordable grain. Thank the mother. So I don't think that's it, but I
Oh,
appreciate your concern."
well, if you don't mind, I'm looking for some grain myself. Could you tell me where to go to perhaps get some for myself as well? I'll even give you a finder's fee for having helped me.
Oh, well, no problem. Nothing you have to pay me for. If you go to this point on the river, insert map here. Um, Usually some sellers. I don't know where they're from, but they have grain for bottom barrel prices. Bless them.
Hmm. Well, let me tell you, I really do appreciate your help. Here's a gold for your service.
Ugh. The crew all kind of like stand up and they kind of surround him. It's like, whoa. Hey, we help too. You know, we're all putting this house together too. I think we need something as well. It's like these 6 guys, and they're all kind of gruff.
I'd
And
say, if you don't mind, just share it along with everyone that's here. Just break it up and share it with everyone.
uh, you see a tense look pass between the men.
I don't know if I have. I don't know if I'm gonna give them.
I'll toss 6 more gold that way.
Oh, okay,
Damn. Okay.
balling. And say, I'm gonna say to him, look, uh, if you ever want to help us out with any information, uh, do we have a name for our group, by the way, or are we just like,
A good question.
does any,
Victor's
Aren't
vessels.
we the council or something?
Oh, Victor's the council. You guys are the working men.
Christ, we're not even the council.
you call us
Council's
Victor's
like the ruling
bitches?
body of the land.
We're fucking council wannabes.
Uh, oh man, what was I thinking? There's a name. I'll just say, insert name here, but like,
You heard of Boys in the Hood? Well, this is Boys in the Council.
if if
Boys
any of
not
you,
even in the council.
if you guys, if you hear anything that's going around in the city, so anything bad or anything that needs to be taken care of, please go ahead and try to find us. We'll be around. You can always go to Victor and leave a note there for us. We're here to help.
um, there's some further explaining required of like who Victor. Well, they would know who Victor is, but uh, well, the more correct thing was go to Victor's office. His secretary will get you in touch. That's just to put that barrier there.
Right.
But yeah, one of them is like, "I'll tell you my sister's cup size for another gold," and another one is like, "I'll tell you where she sleeps." And the one of them slaps the other one kind of in the back, and they're laughing, and I mean they're just joyous. They just got a gold. That's like a month's pay just for nothing.
Well, I'm not giving him any more gold. So I'll just say thanks, and we're gonna
Easy.
go back on with what we're doing.
Please calm down, you fucking whatever.
Going to the spot you discovered, making friends with the locals, you see a grain seller with a band of bodyguards. One of the bodyguards is a hulking giant of a man, surely 7 or if not a little taller. He's thick and round, might have some giant's blood in there somewhere. And he is kind of bullying a guard that has tried to question the group. He's got his giant lunchbox hand almost around the guard's head, and the guard is kind of backed into a wall, holding fast to a spear. He's like, "You don't need to know what we're doing," and the guard is trying to create a little bit of space between this hulking man and him, but it's not going too well.
Okay.
You
I'm gonna.
see
I
the
want to
grain
call out
cart.
to the guy.
Okay,
Go ahead. Yeah. Do your thing.
your eyes before your mouth moves. Give me, what would it be? Give me a roll of something. Maybe survival. Give me survival. Everyone with eyes.
18.
Everyone with eyes.
17.
15.
Okay. Okay. You'll have to point it out to Narion. You all see grain piled high on the cart in small bags. Some of it's leaking out, and a couple of men have grabbed 2 bags and are exchanging a small amount of copper for the heavy bags of grain. The grain leaking out is coarse and has a very, very slight graying to it.
What does?
The
Graying?
grain, graying. It's turning a
It's
little gray.
graying. The graying is graying.
Okay.
What do you call up, Patches? You wanted to jump in?
I will call out.
Yell.
I want to use. Hang on. I think I have a spell for this.
Could we identify like a fungus?
Maybe.
I want to call out. Hang on. I gotta make sure I'm doing the right spells here because there's like 80 of these motherfuckers. Seriously, there's a lot of
I know.
spells.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the spells are not user friendly.
It's like it's one of the ones that I make a bunch of noise and scare the shit out of somebody.
Thaumaturgy?
No. I use my voice to like I say really loud.
Boom.
Was it like dissonant? No.
God
Well, I
damn it.
mean, that's Thaumaturgy in 5th edition. I don't know what
No,
the fuck it
it's
is in
there's
here.
hang on. It might be dissonance something.
Is it like dissonant whispers?
Dissonant whispers? But that's whispers.
No, this is not a whisper
Loudly
thing. This is
whisper.
like a big old yell and I scare people.
Booming something.
I'm going through the list. There's literally 4 fucking lists of spells for my character. Christ.
Doubt. Wail the banshee.
No, that's not it.
Bullhorn?
Nope.
Verbal rolls and archives? Is that the one?
Is it bullhorn? You amplify your voice loud enough for you to be heard easily at a great for the duration. Your voice can be heard loudly. This doesn't increase the range. Your loud
That's all
voice
that comes
is
up.
easier to coerce others, and acoustics assist performance. I
That's
don't think
the
that's
whole.
it.
I'm not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
No, there's one where I'm supposed to scare people. I can't fucking.
Well, how is that not scary?
Order an ally against. Nope, that's not it.
Yeah. Let's just say you did for the sake of. We'll find it next time.
Okay.
So you cast demonic roar or whatever.
Yep. And I tell
What do you
it.
say?
I tell him, you there, what do you think you're doing with this town's guard? Um, and like, I guess say something like move away from him immediately or else.
Well, he's gonna get some kind of save, and he got a 24, so I think he
Oh,
saves no matter what the spell is.
well, fuck. All right.
You made a just loud sound, and you see people cringe away from you as you just suddenly like boom out this sonic boom of yelling. Anyone else? I mean, if it were like an event, everyone would turn and look at you, but instead you've kind of silenced the street. You're looking right at this like ogring man, very tall and wide, kind of meanders toward you, and he's like, "What'd you say, little man?"
Yeah, dissonant whispers does scare them,
Oh, I guess that's it then.
but
Hmm.
if they
It's
fail to
not
save,
loud
they
though,
take
right?
like psychic. No, it says you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far away as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, such as a fire or a pit. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage. Blah 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 blah. Anyway,
Oh,
so
okay.
I think that's what you were going for. It's just not loud.
Yeah, I thought it was
Hmm.
loud.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anyway,
the opposite of that.
yeah.
You
Uh,
creepily whisper, but it seems like directed at this
Creepy
guy. And
whispers flavors well with his character anyway.
he can
yeah,
hear
yeah,
it
it
all
does.
the way across this big street with this bustling kind of. He hears you whispering right at him. He turns immediately. And you see his brow furrow. And again, he walks up to you. What do you say, little man? Even
I
though
I
you're
am.
said your mother.
tall, he's taller.
I said your mother's got a fat ass like a mountain, and I'm ready to dig.
Minecraft.
I I am going to cast Haunting Hymn on him. You echo a jarring hymn that only creatures in the area can hear. The hymn deals sonic damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. Blah blah blah. If
Oh
they
man,
fail, they're deaf for a minute.
it might be a haunting she/her. You don't even know.
Well, keep that in mind. That'll be a next time.
Oh,
That'll be you'll be starting a fight. We don't got time for a whole new fight, but yeah,
Garrett's getting the hungries.
you've picked out this guy from a crowd and fucking attacked him.
man's messing with my cereal.
I mean, this is your city, so I mean, it's your guards,
This
your
my city. This my city.
locale.
James
Being
knows how I
fair.
feel about
We
cereal,
Damn.
run
man.
this bitch.
We got
Yeah,
serious problems with people who mess with
super
cereal.
cereal. Super cereal.
I'm
I,
putting
I gotta go
gray
try
ass
these. I gotta
cornflakes.
go try these pies. They're fucking around with.
Yeah,
Yep,
good
yep,
luck.
yep. Till next time on D&D.
All right,
All right,
boys. Good night.
later, guys.
Hello.
Bye, guys.